So how many calories do you actually need to lose weight? It sounds like a simple question, and you'd think by now, with every app, calculator, and fitness watch out there, somebody would have given you a straight answer. But most people are working off a number that was never really accurate to begin with. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why, and I'm going to show you real data from people I've tested that will probably change the way you look at all of this completely. So here's where nearly everyone starts. They go online, they plug in their height, their weight, their age, and out comes a number. Let's say it's 2,000 calories. Grand. I'll eat 1,500. That's a deficit. Sound. And look, the logic makes sense. But the problem is, that number has no idea who you are. It doesn't know your metabolism. It doesn't know your history, how your body actually functions. It's an estimate that's built on population averages. I've been doing metabolic testing for years now, and the pattern I keep seeing is that people either genuinely believe they're in a deficit when they're not, or they're doing well Monday to Friday and they're completely undoing it at the weekend without realizing. Both situations lead to the exact same outcome. Nothing moves and you just get frustrated. And I want to show you the actual data on this, because when you see it, it will click. So here's a real resting metabolic rate result from one of my clients. The number here, 1,361 calories. That's what this person's body burns at complete rest. Before they've walked a step, before they've trained, before they've done anything, just to keep their organs functioning at 100%. That is what they need. When we factor in their daily steps, their training, their total daily burn, it comes out at 2147 calories. That's their maintenance number, what they need to eat just to say exactly where they are. Now here's where it gets interesting. This person came to me saying they were eating 1,600 calories and not losing a pound. And I hear this all the time, doing everything right, in a deficit, and nothing's happening. I always ask the same question. What does your weekend look like? Because what's going on for most people is Monday to Friday, they're disciplined, they're tracking, they're hitting their calories, they're doing the work, they're nailing it. Then the weekend comes and they just lose track of themselves, go off the rails, few drinks Friday night, takeaway Saturday, big Sunday dinner. Nobody's logging any of that properly. And when that all adds up across a full week, 5 days at 1,600, 2 days at 3,000 calories. That's a weekly total of 14,000 calories. Daily average of 2,000. That's about 150 calories below maintenance. You're not losing any fat there. Well, you're not going to do it consistently anyway. And they've no idea what their weekends look like. They think their metabolism is broken when it's not. Their weekend was just undoing the week every single time. And that's just people not having the awareness. So stay with me here, because the next part is where most people are quietly losing progress without even realizing it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, what about tracking? If I just log everything accurately, doesn't that solve the whole problem here? Tracking is genuinely useful, don't get me wrong. But you can track your intake perfectly and still be aiming at the wrong number. And then there's the calories outside of things, which is where it gets even messier. Fitness watches estimating your calorie burn. Some of them are off by 20, 30, sometimes 40%. So people are eating back calories that they've never actually burned. And then they're thinking that they're in a deficit, but it doesn't even exist. I had someone in recently, 4 days a week in the gym, tracking every day, nailing their exercises, nailing their calories, eating back what their watch told them, and they weren't losing anything. Their watch was overestimating their calorie burn by about 500 calories a day, every single day. That's the difference between a genuine deficit and maintenance, like right there. They weren't doing anything wrong, essentially. They were just trusting a device that was giving them the wrong information. So practically, what you do with all of this, you treat any calculator as a starting point. They cannot be a verdict. Use it, but expect to have to adjust based on what actually happens over 3 to 4 weeks. Your body will tell you if the number is right. You have to be honest about your full week and not just the days that are going well. If the weekend is where things fall apart, then that's where the focus needs to go. You don't need to be restricting yourself Monday to Friday. That just doesn't work. And if you've been doing everything right for 8, 10 weeks and nothing is moving, stop adding more. You don't need more training. You don't need more restriction. You don't need to be nailing more. You need to just do more of the same stuff. And that's where the data comes in. You need a different approach. Now, look, if you want a proper handle on all of this, I put together a free fat loss guide on how to set up your calories, your protein, the structure of training, and everything in terms of your lifestyle, your sleep, your stress, your recovery. It's free. So the link is in the description. It takes 2 minutes to grab and it'll solve a lot of problems for you. So the honest answer to the question, how many calories do you need to lose weight? The answer is always going to be, it genuinely depends on your metabolism. Not a formula, not any averages, your metabolism, your lifestyle, and your actual numbers. A calculator gets you started, but if you've been stuck, if you've been dieting and not seeing results, knowing your real numbers is the most valuable thing you can have, because everything else works better when it's built on accurate data. If you're based in Ireland and want to get your resting metabolic rate tested, all the details are in the description below. And in the next video, we're going to look at VO2 max and why most people are doing their cardio training wrong, in the wrong zones. If you run, if you do high rocks, or if you're watching this and you just want to improve your overall cardio, it's definitely worth watching. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.